Good morning, cousin, and welcome to my daily divination ceremony. I actually do this every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we are asking, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? This divination ceremony is brought to you by the Unbound Witches of Bright and Dark Center. Your altar crew today is myself, and Ocean is the disembodied voice that will pop in and out of this divination ceremony, just so you're prepared. In fact, are there any Voice of God announcements today? Yes? Okay, I'm going to turn this over to Ocean and the Voice of God to let you know what's going on at the Resource Center and in our app.
Thank you, Jen Marie. The only announcement that I have today is that this Sunday we have SAS Mass, a spirituality and support symposium, where we gather in community to share perspectives. This is a free event open to the whole community, and we hold it at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. I'm sorry, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Time zones are a whole thing. And this Wednesday, we also have Magic Moves, and that's a super fun dance workshop that we hold at 6 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Eastern. And those are all the announcements today. This has been Ocean as the voice of God.
Yeah. Life is pretty great in this community. I am absolutely beside myself with what is already manifesting this year. I've been saying since about December that this year was going to be really fast paced, and whatever we put our attention to is going to manifest in really big, really fast ways. It's like we're planting seeds in really fertile soil, and it's just like popping off, like perfect conditions for everything we've ever wanted to actually come through. We just got to decide what we want, right? And so all of the guidance and advice that I give everyone, I actually take in for myself as well. And so I've been doing that. And there's a lot of moving parts right now. There are a lot of moving parts right now, but I cannot wait to share this harvest with you. And I've also been saying that come summer, by summertime, we will be celebrating. It will be a celebration. We believe so strongly that come summertime, there will be a celebration. We're already planning the party. And we have a summer solstice gathering planned for the members of the community who are initiating through foundations, their friends and family, and the unbound, their friends and family. We're all getting together and we're going to be celebrating as a community. Do we know what we're celebrating yet? No, not fully, because we haven't even planted the seeds yet. This is just information about where we're going to be able to be planting the seeds. And I know that this is really cryptic, but welcome to the life of an oracle. This is it. This is it. So anyway, is it Friday the 13th? Yeah. I don't really pay attention to the Gregorian calendar unless I absolutely have to. And so I'm more thinking about the phase of the moon than necessarily the days of the week. But Friday the 13th has become almost like an egregore, but not quite like that. A belief that a lot of people feed into. And so it becomes the thing. And I love that for us too. Do we want to get into this? Again, we're going to be pulling tarot cards. And we're asking specifically, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? We are not asking how to get the X back. We're not asking how to get the job we think we need. We're asking what is best. Okay, that's taking your conditioning completely out of the way and letting your guidance fully step in instead of you bottlenecking what you think is best. Does that make sense? Okay. Kind of on one today, guys. Not gonna lie. All right. Yeah, happy waning crescent moon. I'm going to start by taking 3 deep breaths, and then I'm going to do what I do to get my system prepared for divination. You do what you do, and we're going to meet on the other side and then actually pull cards together. Okay, this is a collective reading. Oh, look at that. Fancy banner. Thanks, God. Am I going to just start calling the mods God now? I think that's probably what's going to happen. It feels like that's the direction that we're headed. So I'm going to lean into it. Okay. For real, let's do this. Oh, geez. Quite the vibes going on today, am I right? Does it feel like celebration to you? Because I mean, it totally does. I know that I have lots of reason to celebrate, but it feels collective. And I'm so here for that. I'm so here for that. Let's do this. I humbly invite all that is fire within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is air within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is earth within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is water within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I beckon to this system. May we now align as one. For my cousins are the elements, and so the moon and sun. I call to those who love me. You are welcome in this space, for our nature is united, sharing magic, life, and grace. And then make a declaration of intention. I choose now in this moment to align with my whole self. To pull the book that tells my story from its place upon the shelf. I enter now this circle made of trust and hope and power. And I show up for my practice in this place and at this hour. Because I am home. Where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? I need to adjust my seating first. I feel like pitched forward. Ouch. Where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? That is the question that we are answering in this divination space. Which very likely answers your question. And the battery in my laptop is dying again. So, telling you guys, it's just this whole thing. I'm going to finish shuffling and then I'm going to plug it in. Usually, if things are plugged in, it's fine. It's when they're battery powered that just doesn't interact well in my field. Please hold. Found it. We're going to get real close. Is that the hole? There. Yeah. Did I do it? I think I did it. Are we good? Okay. That's fun. I love that for us. Are we curious? I actually don't remember if I split the deck yet. But we're going to just go with this, how it is. So, how do we feel about that? See, you can be a reader for 20 plus years and still have moments, and perimenopause is very, very real. All right, okay. So, we drew the Knight of Wands upright. There we go. So I'm going to read that prompt to you. You're going to ask yourself, if your guides were using this card to communicate a facet of your relationship with your life, what are they talking about? Now is a time to go for it. Be committed to your purpose and vision and do whatever it takes to bring your goals to life, because you know that your potential is limitless. Your energy is high right now, but be sure that you're thinking before acting so that you don't stumble over your own feet. And the reverse is, there's a passion welling within you to work on something, but you may not know how to funnel it, or perhaps exactly what to work on. Or maybe you're juggling too many tasks rather than focusing on something sustainable. You don't need to do everything at once. Be sure to keep your impulses in check, because you're at risk of saying or doing something you may later regret. You got the same card? The Knight of Wands. I'm trying very hard not to influence your interpretation, your initial interpretation of what I just said, read. It is not lost on me that I just said this. So, love that sweet, sweet validation. And then there's that whole like sorcery version of the chicken and the egg. Did I foresee it or did I make it happen? Yeah. Right? We've got this celebration energy, this like, I could do anything. Anything's possible. This is, spring is here and we're alive and there is hope. And we're getting all of those kinds of feelings. That some of that is the natural season, how our systems are influenced by the natural seasons around us. 'Tis the season for this kind of feeling. However, this year, like I was saying, feels like this bears more weight, that it's not just, I mean, yes, this happens every year, but this is happening in a year that the ground is really fertile, like really, really fertile. So because it's happening at a time where the ground is really, really fertile, you have to ask yourself different questions than what you have asked yourself in the past when you've had this Knight of Wands energy, this like passion and ready for adventure and taking action in your life, right? This year is like taking that and saying that anything that you do is going to reap this massive harvest. So, what do you really want to harvest? What do you really want? In previous years, it's been, what do I need to survive? What do I need to survive? Right? But this year is, but what do you really want? Because this is going so far beyond survival. It's an opportunity to get you to a point where survival is never a thing that you're having to consider anymore. It's setting you up for the rest of your life. So what do you want that to look like? Right? And this isn't necessarily something that you have to do yourself, because you have a lot of this energy, a lot of this I can do anything energy. But if you approach this like a butterfly, where you're putting your energy into a lot of different things and seeing what sticks, that you're leading yourself into a path that is unsustainable. You can't do that many things well. You can't do that many things in a way that you're proud of, and in a way that is taking into consideration your whole system. Right? So it's really important, as you are planting all of these seeds, that you be intentional about it, or as intentional as you can be given the information you have right now, because there's still a lot of unknowns, and I get that. But what information do you have right now? What is exciting to you right now? What can you see yourself doing? Or what do you want to see yourself doing? And this doesn't necessarily have to mean that you're making these big life changes. This could mean that you are intentionally choosing to surround yourself with people that are doing this kind of stuff, or surround yourself or participate in groups that are doing this kind of stuff, right? So if you're passionate about community, go to a lot of community things, right? Attend, participate. Okay. Now we need to look at what we're in resistance to or in denial of that is making this Knight of Wands situation kind of confusing for us. That's the really nice way of saying, how are we getting in our own goddamn way? The Page of Cups upright. What we're in resistance to or in denial of. Okay. Listen to your heart and go with all things sentimental and romantic. Share those tender moments with someone special. Feel free to express your feelings, dance like no one's watching, and be a giant goof. Have fun and be wild, Moonchild. And the reverse is you're feeling down and you're certainly not yourself at the moment. Something is pulling hard on your heartstrings and you're having some big feelings. Take care of yourself. Keep an eye on your mental health and seek out help if things get too heavy. So, our voice of God mod pulled the same card in there highlighted. Okay. And okay, I'm not going to get into what your shadow was, but what is in shadow for us? It's like, see how quickly I just latch on and I'm ready to go on a side quest. I'm always down. Let's go. Okay, Page of Cups, upright. In a position of what we're in resistance to or in denial of. When was the last time that you played? Just played, right? When was the last time you did something that you really enjoyed doing and didn't guilt and shame yourself the entire time you were doing it? Right. When was the last time that you were playful or experienced playfulness? This is such a big thing, especially for neurodivergent magical practitioners. This relationship with play is really complicated. And there's so many different reasons why we have a complicated relationship with play. It has a lot to do with our childhood and not feeling safe enough to playfully be ourselves. So our conditioning has made it to where we are resistant to play. Play is bad and wrong because our play is unacceptable and weird, right? What if I told you that what you're supposed to be doing has something, it's going to feel like play to you? We are so quick to assume that our calling is going to require backbreaking work and commitment, right? That's a product of our social conditioning under the big cappy pappy. We're taught that we have to be productive, and if we're not productive and we play, it's childlike, right? Or it's wrong in some way. But your calling, what you were born to do, is a lot closer aligned to what you find fun, what you really enjoy. You just haven't been in an environment that has you've been able to do that. That doesn't mean that environment doesn't exist. And in fact, it very well could mean that you were meant in some way to bring that environment into reality or physical reality, right? So it's fun homework. What is playful? What do you find fun? How often do you actually let yourself do that? Right? And if play was your like calling, your job, if you want to like limit it to that, what does that look like? If you could, for the rest of your life, do something that you find really not just emotionally stimulating, but intellectually stimulating and playful and fun, right? Don't put yourself in a box with what you are manifesting this year. Think big, think all the way, right? And here's another thing, kind of a trick for manifesting when you don't know exactly what that looks like, which is really, really common. It's so common, at least in my life, I find, and we were just talking about this, that when you are making choices in response to your intuition, which is in alignment with your calling, you don't always have all of the information. You just have like this general direction. And then when it happens, you look back and you're like, oh, I'm so glad I did that, and that, because had I not, it would have been this whole thing. Or like, do you see what I mean? That's what it usually is. It's this kind of unfolding, this following of what you're curious about or what you feel strongly about. So the trick to manifesting the life of your dreams when you don't even know what that looks like yet, what does it feel like? What does the life of your dreams feel like? And if it helps you to tell a story of some sort, then tell yourself a story. And the trick is allowing yourself to feel it, experience it as much as possible. Right? If you think like you are creating a magnet of sorts, right? For a specific feeling signature, and you are feeding that magnet every time you allow yourself to experience the life of your dreams. Let your heart bloom with it. Even again, if you don't have all of the information, you feeling it is creating that magnet for that, what you're wanting, the life of your dreams. You'll start seeing it showing up in your lived experience. So, yeah, it feels like leaps of faith from hints of direction. Exactly. That's beautiful. I love that. Lots of leaps of faith from hints of direction. Yes. Okay. Ta-da! So, if you're actually able to take some time to play today, or even sit and imagine the possibility that your relationship with play is influencing what you're wanting to do with your life, what you're wanting to manifest this year, this big thing, right? No pressure. There's a new moon right around the corner, guys, like we said. Waning crescent. Okay. That's our reading for the day. That's it. I'm excited. I know I keep saying it, but genuinely excited about what's coming. I just wish I could share it with you. All of it. In order for me to see, I almost went down another side quest. We, and by we I mean the unbound witches of Bright and Dark, are mobilizing in really big ways to be able to bring you into the life of a witch born of shadow. What does it look like to live in community in the very specific way that we engage in community? It is beyond your wildest dreams. And we understand that you have to see it to believe it, and that's okay. Especially since those of us, those who we are looking for, are black sheep cycle breaking weirdos, right? We have a special relationship with groups of people. So we understand that showing you is a whole thing. And so we're doing that. So you can see that what you're wanting is happening. We're doing it and we're waiting for you. So there. Let's close out this working and I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to do this again. All right. So hand on your heart, take a deep breath. This working is now closing, but the magic has just begun. I humbly thank the elements and both the moon and sun. To all who chose to bless this flow, I now sincerely thank you. May our practice be expansive and our course be clear and true. All right, witches, remember, if you can't be good at it.